Good morning, welcome back to the channel. Let's have a 5 things we learned last night, shall we? First and foremost, I'm going to start with Casemiro. I think he's having an absolutely stellar end to the season. He's got a real knack in the opposition penalty area. I think he's great defensively on set plays as well. I think that's worth saying, but I think in the opposition penalty area, he's just got a knack of finding a goal. He's been a steadying presence in midfield, particularly in Europe. I think you can see his experience showing massive importance of having players that have been there and done it and lead by example. Great mentality. He plays risky. He's not someone that's ever going to get you 100 passes a game and be like 100% pass completion. He tries risky balls, but he switches stuff. He sends it wide. He tries to thread the needle at times. Sometimes it doesn't come off. But I tell you what, he absolutely has delivered in Europe for us this year. If we end up lifting this trophy this year, massive part of that has to be down to Casemiro because he's delivered at every stage in the Europa League this year. He's been absolutely fantastic. Great mentality as well, because someone that's done it all, and won Champions Leagues with Real Madrid, you could be forgiven for him just absolutely phoning it in playing for United. And maybe when he came out with that quote earlier in the season where he was like, no, I actually like it here, maybe that wasn't contract talk. Maybe that wasn't him sort of saying, if you want me to leave, you're going to have to pay me off. Maybe that was him literally telling the truth and saying, no, I like it here. Who knows? Number 2, mixed bag for Ugarte. He was a hard watch in the first 30 or so, but then he ends the half with 2 assists. The instinct for him to backheel it for Bruno's goal, absolutely deadly. He is a player that massively divides opinion in the fan base, because I think people expect him to be a Roy Keane or a Brian Robson regen. He isn't that, and he's not on their level. But he's a damn useful player. And I actually think that of all of the players that we signed in the summer, they've all been a success. If you look at, you go through De Ligt, Mazraoui, Ugarte, Yoro, and I think Xerxes is the one that's probably been the worst of that bunch. And I don't have an issue with Xerxes. So I think that just shows you how good. I mean, Yoro looks great. I think Ugarte, yeah. I understand he divides opinion, but I think he offers so much to this football team. I think De Ligt's been great, and I think Mazraoui is just one of the most confident and intelligent players I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, Ugarte, the midfield really struggled in that first 20-25 minutes or so. And he was a big part of that. Couldn't connect a pass, it just wasn't coming off for him in the slightest. But, he's someone that he's always going to graft. He's always going to work hard. And even though, you're not picking Ugarte thinking he's going to create chances for you and get assists, creating chances and getting assists is exactly what he delivered yesterday. And I liked it. Yeah, I like him. And I think even that first 25 minutes yesterday, not an issue. I think he's had a pretty good season. Spring cleaning isn't just for finally tossing out a fedora that you swore would make a comeback. It's for hitting reset on your grooming routine. Manscaped's Beard and Balls bundle has got you covered from cheek to cheek. Clearing out the overgrowth winter left behind, it is time to weed whack, to hedge trim, and to make sure the lawn is looking manicured for the season. Because nothing says fresh start like a sharp beard, and more importantly, a landscaped lawn. Join over 12 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and use the code Howson, that is Howson, for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. The Beard Hedger keeps your beard crisp like a freshly bloomed flower, while the Lawnmower Ultra clears out the underbrush, because confidence grows best with the right tools. And there's 20 adjustable settings on the Beard Hedger, effortlessly shaping your beard from a light spring stubble to a bold, well-defined style. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra dual blade system has got interchangeable foil and trimmer blades, and it keeps things fresh and smooth in the most sensitive spots. Listen, you know what Manscaped is by now. You surely do. If this is your first day on the internet, well, welcome for starters. But if it's not, then you already know what Manscaped can do. Do not cut corners on your grooming routine. Upgrade to the Beard and Balls bundle from Manscaped. Visit manscaped.com. Use the code Howson, that's Howson. Get 20% off and free shipping. And if you need it today, you can even find Manscaped at a store near you. Stay fresh this season for everyone's sake and level up your grooming game today. Number 3. goals equals confidence. We've struggled to score for months. Now, Europe aside, because we got, 3 in 4 or 5 minutes the other day. And we got 3 in about 15 minutes last night. But we've been struggling to score. And even though it was our midfield that delivered all the goals again yesterday, we did look a threat. I thought Hojlund had a bit more about him in the game. Garnacho definitely offered threat. And the goal contributions coming from midfield is really good. I mean, Bruno's always going to deliver Bruno stuff. And I still don't understand the shit that he gets. It really baffles me, the amount of abuse that Bruno Fernandes gets. I mean, he ain't ever going to be Roy Keane or Brian Robson. He is a different kind of leader. But you cannot question his commitment to the cause. You cannot question his desire. And you cannot question his quality. You know, I'm seeing all of the memes about, remember Martin Odegaard? Martin Odegaard is an easier on the eye kind of player, I think, right? I think that'd be fair to say in terms of his technical ability. Martin Odegaard cannot do what Bruno Fernandes does. And if you put Bruno in that Arsenal team, he may have made the difference to them a couple of times and they might have actually won something. But Bruno is criminally disrespected. His numbers are outrageous. And this isn't a flash in the pan. Like, sometimes numbers can mask. But with Bruno Fernandes, the level of consistency over 5 years is undeniably good. It's undeniably good. Like, yeah, you can have a preference for maybe wanting to hold on to the ball a little bit more. You have to play with risk to create chances. And I think that's been an issue with United in recent years, is that there hasn't been enough risk or enough intelligent risk. You don't want your centre-half trying to Cruyff turn people in the middle of the day. It's not a good idea. But there's a time and a place to play with risk, and you have to play with risk, and you have to be willing to lose the ball to create a chance. And Bruno Fernandes embodies that, and he covers every single blade of grass. He literally runs himself into the ground for the club, and I don't think you can argue with that. Hojlund. Now, there was still a few times where I thought he was hand fighting, but on the whole, the defenders are not as physical as they are in the Premier League in Europe, and I thought he had a good showing against their back line. It suited him a hell of a lot better. He was an outlet for us. He ran well, he ran hard, and he covered a lot of ground as well. There was a lot of times he was defending extremely deep, but he was a good outlet for us, and it was certainly one of his better performances of the season. The winning of the penalty was because he's tried to get across his man and get into the front post. That's his job. So he probably deserved a goal, probably would have got that goal had he not been dragged back. And obviously that moment, even though he didn't put the ball in the back of the net, cemented United going on and winning that game. There is no question about that whatsoever. So nice to see him putting in a good shift. Like I said, he is going to be relied upon to have a good show in Europe. We've spoken about this because there is nobody else. Like, even if you think Cheeto might be able to do something in the league, it's got to be Hojlund in the Europa. And he will be required to have a good game against Spurs. Now, whether Spurs is classed as a European game or a domestic game, I guess we're going to find out. It would just be the most Spursy thing ever to absolutely own us domestically and then lose to us in the Europa League final when it actually means something, wouldn't it? And it's all we've got to hang our hats on at the moment, but we're absolutely going to hang our hats on it because we've got fuck all else. Finally, Ahmad. So good to have him back. I know he's been back in training for a couple of weeks. Quite surprised he got a run out, but when he came on, I remember. And he showed us what an outlet he can be, and I do wonder if he is going to be featuring in that sort of right wing back role. I think it suits him so well because he's an absolute monster when it comes to his duels. He showed skill, he's shown quality. He had a little bit of flair when he came on as well. He brings such technical security to us as well, which I didn't think Dorgu had his greatest game in a United shirt last night. And there's so many players in our forward line that make poor decisions, that lose the ball cheaply. And people are going to confuse. Well, Bruno Fernandes gives the ball away a lot. He does, but he doesn't necessarily give it away cheaply. He's giving it away trying to make things happen. Ahmad doesn't give it away even when he's trying to make things happen. He's a mad technical player, and I like that about him. And he makes him and Mazraoui are two of the most intelligent footballers. They're certainly the most intelligent footballers in our team. I don't know about it all time. That's getting a little bit giddy, that. But they're absolutely two of the most intelligent footballers in our team, and they make such good decisions with the ball. Mazraoui you can understand a little bit. He's got a lot more experience. Ahmad, with the relative little amount of experience that he's got, his decision making's elite, honestly. And I love watching him play for that reason. He can make things happen, but he does so by making really, really good decisions. It's magic that we've lacked. I think if you can get him fit enough to start by the time that Spurs game, let's be honest, it's probably going to be Spurs, isn't it? I don't think I'm talking out of tune here to say that. We've got, what, about 3 week-ish? Yeah, just less than 3 week, 19, 20 days before that game. You get him fit. That's the man that's going to win you that final against Spurs. Mark my words. Mark my words. We're talking about another final. We're talking about 3 finals in 3 years for clinically the worst United side in history. Imagine being us, eh? Imagine supporting anybody else. Anyways, happy days, man. Play ratings coming out in a bit. We'll drill into the detail of everyone. And there's some fascinating stats out from this game, so stay tuned for that a little bit later on. And I'll see you lot in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.